Yeah, come on in.
Hey, what's up? Are you ready to go see Suicide?
Now look, before you say anything, believe me, there are going to be way bigger freaks at the movie than me tonight. That's Nate. Can you get him for me?
You guys ready to go?
Really?
Who wants to share popcorn?
Hey everybody, I'm Dennis Stack.
And I'm Nate Fischer.
We are Cinema Buffs bringing you our review of Suicide Squad.
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
Nothing really matters to me.
All right, so we're here for the Suicide Squad review, and we are at Vault of Midnight, which is the comic book store downtown Grand Rapids. If you want to know a little bit more about the comic book store, just check out the links below. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, share. We really appreciate all the support. So everyone really knows about Suicide Squad. This is a very hyped up movie, so let's just get right into it. Let's get into like sort of the hype and if it lived up to the hype, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of anticipation going into this movie. Real heavy marketing campaign, which kudos to them because like the way they cut these trailers with like, you know, Bohemian Rhapsody and stuff like that, it did get me excited because at first I was just a little bit hesitant about this movie. I'm not the biggest fan of the director, David Ayer. Like the only movie of his I can say I really liked was Fury.
Yeah, and he wrote Training Day, and I really like Training Day as well.
Right, but Fury was his most recent movie, so I think he is getting better as a director.
For sure.
And I remember when the first trailer or second trailer came out with Bohemian Rhapsody, I told Nate, I was like, that got me excited, but I knew this movie wasn't going to have Bohemian Rhapsody playing over the entire thing.
Right.
So I still was a little hesitant.
That song gets me excited about anything.
Right.
If it's playing over something.
Exactly. So I was getting excited as it drew closer to it.
Yeah.
How about you? Were you really anticipating this one?
I was anticipating it. I'm still rooting for DC. I really am. I wanted this to be really good. And I was pretty excited about Jared Leto's take on the Joker. I'm always excited about a new take on the Joker, no matter what direction they go with it. So whether it was going to be bad or good, I still was looking forward to it, definitely.
So like most of the comic book movies that came out this year, this was a big ensemble. A lot of characters being in there. So, you know, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, Jared Leto as Joker. A lot of new takes on these characters.
Deadshot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Viola Davis as Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
So Nate, what did you think about these new interpretations of these characters?
Well, the trailer led me to believe that they all sort of had equal screen time, but it necessarily wasn't like that. Will Smith and Margot Robbie definitely steal the show, I would say, for most screen time.
For sure.
They are on screen the most, and I really liked Will Smith in this movie. I haven't seen something from him in a long time that I really liked, but I think Will Smith did such a fantastic job, and he held this movie, and he held it well.
Yeah, I agree. Will Smith was really great in this. I'm not one of these like comic book purists when it comes to translating it to movie.
Yeah, no.
So Deadshot can have a sense of humor. I know he's supposed to be this cold-blooded killer, but no, I like that there's a little bit lightness, more levity to this than, say, Batman v Superman.
For sure.
And also, yeah, Margot Robbie, I thought she was great, but I think the standout to me was actually Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag.
Really? You liked Rick Flag?
Yeah, I did. I liked Rick Flag. I thought that Joel Kinnaman did a fine job with it.
Yeah.
I would say he was the biggest surprise, just because I was expecting to be this flat military character, and I thought there was layers to him. There's a little bit of, you know, naivety and vulnerability to him, too.
Yeah, they gave him some depth. There was standouts here and there. Nick Flag didn't really do it for me, personally. Rick Flag, yeah, he didn't really do it for me. But I liked Diablo. I thought he was a standout a little bit. I liked him. I liked his vulnerability. They gave Killer Croc nothing to work with at all.
No.
Like, Killer Croc was just sort of there to snarl and growl.
Getting into the big one, walking into this, Jared Leto's Joker.
Joker, yeah.
Now, when Heath Ledger was cast for Dark Knight, the announcing of the casting was like, I'm not sure. Saw the first trailer, I'm like, all right, I'm on board, but he ain't gonna outdo Nicholson.
Right.
Saw the movie, he outdid Nicholson.
Definitely.
With Jared Leto, announced the casting, I'm not liking it. Saw the trailer, I'm not liking it. Saw the movie, I didn't like it. I did not like his Joker.
I didn't really care for his Joker either. I don't think that he slurred the Joker's name by any means, but this just didn't feel like the Joker. He wasn't very jokey. He didn't really play these evil pranks. And also, I always found Joker to be smart. Conniving, insane, but really clever and sort of on top of his game a little bit. And this, he never showed any cleverness to me at all.
No, he was just like this, like kind of like a quirky, almost like eccentric mob boss. His goons did all the work, you know, and I just didn't like that. Like I mean, yeah, it's fine if Joker has goons, but it's just like, when they do the majority of the killing and everything like that, it just makes Joker less menacing.
Yeah. And
In fact, I think Viola Davis as Amanda Waller was more menacing than Jared Leto's Joker.
Absolutely. And I think that they sort of shoehorned Joker in a little bit. He felt a little shoehorned because you want this relationship between him and Harley Quinn. And when him and Harley Quinn are together, it was at Joker's best.
Yeah, I did like that.
In the
The chemistry and the dynamic between the two of them, that worked really well.
So the director, David Ayer, you already sort of mentioned that you're a little iffy on him.
Yeah.
You would say, Fury wasn't a big fan, but the direction wasn't bad in Fury.
No.
I just wasn't really a big fan of the story in general. So let's look at David Ayer's direction and also how he fits into this ongoing. This is the first Zack Snyder, or non-Zack Snyder directed movie.
Right.
In this whole
DC universe.
DC universe they're trying to build. So what'd you think?
Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of David Ayer's direction style. There was one thing, I liked Fury, fine. But there was one thing about it that bothered me. And that was the bullet trails. I hate it when they do that in movies. It looks so cheesy and fake. And he brought it to this movie. Not to the extent of Fury, but he brought it to this, and I didn't really like it. And, as far as, his pacing and everything, I feel like the movie just kind of got a little dragged out at the beginning. I get it. They have to provide the backstory for these characters because they're introducing them. But it just, it's just a little too clunky. I thought they could have spread that out over the first act instead of making it the first 15 minutes of the movie, telling everybody their backstory, getting it all out of the way.
Yeah, honestly, I had the most fun in this movie in the first half of the film. I liked these backstories. I liked the switching pace. I thought the editing was really brisk and fast-paced at the beginning. I liked that you saw these little glimpses of where these people came from and how they were captured from Batman or any other situation. Mm-hmm. So actually, for me, I liked the little fleshed-out characters. I thought it was kind of cool. And then I felt like it started to drag towards the second half. I was like, this isn't as fast-paced or fun as it was at the beginning.
I disagree with you there. I like this movie as it kept going. I started to like it more and more.
Okay.
I like the action in the second act and the beginning of the third act. It's really heavy on practical effects.
Yeah.
And then when it gets to the big bad thing, it's just kind of like any other comic book movie where it's this big powerful being. They all got to team up and take it down. And it was super CGI heavy. So I feel like it was started off a little slow, started getting good, and was becoming its own thing. And then it just went generic comic book third act.
And that's exactly what I wanted to touch on was the generic comic book third act. I want to take over the world. They didn't have to go this route. This felt very personal in the first half for me. And I was really happy to learn about these characters, and I actually liked all these characters. But I feel like they rushed them along so they could get to this generic superhero explosion of we need to stop it and save the world. And they didn't give enough time for these people to work together. This is their first mission. I thought they'd do almost a smaller mission that they do together, so there's a little bit of bonding.
Yeah.
But there was nothing. These people don't know how to work together. They seem to give no intel or even direction on what they're supposed to be doing in this mission.
No. And it's just everybody throws their powers at them and their unique weapons, and somehow it all works out in the end. And with Suicide Squad, we got the second chapter of this DC extended universe.
Yeah.
Now, Batman v Superman opened to mixed reactions, including from us. I enjoyed it more than Nate did.
Yeah.
So with this, Nate, do you feel more optimistic about DC heading forward? Are you a little more pessimistic, or are you just about the same?
I'm about the same. I guess I'm a little bit more optimistic. Like I said, I'm still rooting for DC. I want this to keep going. I will keep watching the movies. And I think they're working it out. And honestly, yeah, I was a little bit of a naysayer after Batman vs. Superman for Suicide Squad, but this one was better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I agree. This one was a little bit better than I thought it would be. And I'd say I'm a little bit more optimistic going forward because this one was more fun.
Yeah, definitely.
There was more fun. It was more enjoyable. I had fun watching this movie. I can't deny that.
The comedy was a good addition.
Yeah, the comedy worked really well.
Yeah.
Even from all characters.
Having said all of this, just put a number on it, Dennis. What do you think?
Yeah, like I said, this was better than I thought it would be. And yeah, it gets that generic third act comic book movie. But outside of that, I had fun. So I'm gonna go a little high. I'm gonna go 7.5 out of 10.
Wow. All right. Yeah, that's pretty high. Yeah, I had more fun than I thought I would in this. The third act hurts. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But once again, they're in the right direction. So I'm going to go a little bit lower there. I'm going to go 6.5. But I still do think that people will enjoy this movie, and I will tell people to see it.
All right, so that's it for our review of Suicide Squad. What did you guys think of the movie? Why don't you go ahead and leave some comments down below. And don't forget to show support by liking, sharing, and subscribing.
That's right. We also want to do a special thanks to Vault of Midnight Comics for having us here to shoot this episode. Awesome establishment. If you're downtown Grand Rapids and looking for comics, this is the place to go.
And check us out next week when we're going to be bringing you our review of Sausage Party.
Right.
Don't forget, guys.
There's no place like the theater.